This is the Logitech G603 wireless gaming mouse. This is one of the earlier mice to use Logitech's new Lightspeed wireless technology. This allows it to operate lag-free while still retaining the freedom of a wireless mouse. Lightspeed requires a USB dongle, but one of the unique features about this mouse is it can also operate over Bluetooth, a feature uncommon on serious gaming-oriented products, making it a nice choice for a mobile mouse. That's one of the reasons I got it. Most wireless mouse, especially those that operate on Bluetooth, are simply low quality. Gaming-oriented mice, at least in the case of Logitech, seem to be of a bit higher quality than generic mice. They just feel right. Going more in depth with the build quality, it's quite impressive. The tolerances on this thing are insanely tight and nothing wiggles around when it isn't supposed to. The buttons feel high quality and precise when clicked, unlike some mice which have a cheap or kinda mushy quality to them. The scroll wheel is a tactile plastic/rubber. I'm not really sure what to call it, but it feels nice. It's also pretty thick in case you have fat fingers. There's a button on top for switching the DPI settings. It changes colors based upon which preset you have it assigned to. You can remap this button, and any other button on the mouse, to do whatever you want, but I leave it as the DPI switcher. There's also two side buttons meant for forwards and backwards functions, but again, these can be set to do whatever you want. And they can be saved on device, more on that later. The construction is unlike any mouse I've seen. The entire top of it is held on with magnets, and you just pop it off to replace the batteries. There's also a little slot inside to put the Lightspeed dongle during transport. I think it has a nice weight, but if you want a lighter mouse or a different weight distribution, you can just run it on one battery. You might think that would severely handicap the battery life, but that's really not the case. It will, of course, halve your usage time, but the battery life on this thing is pretty incredible compared to most of its competition. In performance mode, which is 1000 Hz polling rate, it's rated to run for 500 hours straight, and going off the results I've had so far, I believe that. There's also an endurance mode, which extends the battery life. It's rated to run 18 months, but do take into account that's assuming average usage during those 18 months, and we don't really know what that means. Real quick, I'm not going to dwell on the specs because at this tier of hardware, basically everything from a reputable manufacturer is good enough. But I'll throw up the specs here in case you really want to dig into them. These are copied directly from the Logitech website. The headline feature of this mouse, aside from the battery life of course, is Logitech's Lightspeed wireless technology. Most of the time when you hear claims of a lag-free wireless experience, well, it's usually marketing bullshit. But this isn't the case here. There are other, much more technical videos demonstrating the effectiveness of this technology, so feel free to watch those if you'd like. But let me just say it's quite good, and I don't think I have a reason to ever use a wired mouse again. There is no perceptible difference between this and wired. That's as technical as I'm going to get with it, but I think it is genuinely good. If you use it as a Bluetooth mouse, expect it to perform like a $20 Walmart mouse. That's not really the fault of the mouse itself, more so the limitations of Bluetooth. It does work though, and it works as well as any other Bluetooth mouse. One thing to note, Logitech gaming software will not recognize it in Bluetooth mode. It needs to be connected via Lightspeed to program it or to do whatever else you want to do with LGS. Speaking of LGS, this is where you can adjust your DPI presets, adjust the polling rate, change the buttons around, and program the onboard preset. That means you could program it to work a certain way, and then use it on another computer without Logitech software, and all your buttons and DPI settings will still be on the device. And even if you're running it over Bluetooth, those button presets will still persist. So then what's the catch, you may be asking? And the answer to that really depends on what type of person you are. If you absolutely can't live without RGB lights blasting your retinas 24/7, this isn't the mouse for you. There's no aesthetic illumination on the mouse, which is the main reason it can get such great battery life. Another possible con is its lack of infinite scrolling. Some Logitech mice have an unlockable scroll wheel that can be spun freely. It's useful for super long documents and web pages, and it's just kind of fun. This mouse just has a normal scroll wheel, and if you've never had infinite scroll, you wouldn't know what you're missing anyways. Overall, I think it's a great mouse and I've been using it for months without issues. I've never had a connection issue and the battery life has been great. I have affiliate links in the description if you'd like to check it out. Feel free to leave a like and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.